All right, so Andy, those are some highlights for you. Have a big-time milestone as well. George Dugo from Chaminade. 500 wins, that's a lot.
And affectionately known as Dugo to all of us in the wrestling community, he's an outstanding person, an outstanding coach. Became the first coach in Long Island history, Keith, to get 500 wins. That's a lot. Congratulations, George.
40 years at Chaminade really went by like a blink of an eye. But I was very, very fortunate, and I came at the right time. The program was still in development.
George is an incredible person. He's very intense, but you'd never know it. He's incredibly humble, and his humility is genuine. When he took the job, his first year was my first year. He was, 22 years old, 23 max. So he'd throw the singlet on, and he'd be on the mats with us for 2 or 3 hours a day, demonstrating moves, sometimes going live.
He came to me in gym class, Chaminade phys ed class, and I was about 90 pounds. I was a little runt. And he said, hey, why don't you come wrestle? And I said, wow, you guys have a ring? I only knew WWF, Hulk Hogan, and the superstars of wrestling. We walked up those stairs into the old wrestling room. I remember the sights, the sounds, the smell. I walked in the room, I was hooked. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
He's got an incredible track record at Chaminade in terms of state championships, team championships, league champions, individual accomplishments. He did a great job raising the profile of private school and Catholic wrestling. The public wrestling was sort of an entity unto itself, with Dugo lobbying for years and years to have the Catholic League treated as another county so that the best wrestlers could go up against the very best in New York State. It wasn't just his effort, it was a group effort, but he was the leader, and without him, it just would not have happened.
When you think about George's career, how many people he had in the program. He had hundreds. We'd wrestle other schools, and they'd have trouble putting a full lineup out. He touched so many lives in so many positive ways. I don't even know if you could add them up, and that, I think, will always be his legacy. That's what separates him from every other coach.
It was never about George. It was always about the team, the kids, the program. He can go around and flaunt all that he's done, but he never did.
Dugo was an incredible teacher. He was a phys ed teacher. He was a wrestling coach. He was a great technician and great teacher, showing the boys not just, hey, this is how you do the move, but breaking down the move.
I believe in basics and fundamentals. They're the hallmark of success.
He challenged you, he held you accountable, but at the same time, he cared about you.
I think it was George's ability to really make people believe in themselves. It's not always going to go your way, but the real test of a champion is someone who can keep on fighting and you get it the next time. And this is not just in sports, in school, in relationships, in your professional life. You always got to work. Always work and believe in yourself.
I would say the thing that we all picked up from him is if you're going to commit to something, commit 100%. Whether it is wrestling, relationships, commit to what you do, work your hardest at it, and success will follow.
To strive for that success, not just on the mat and in the room, but in life. He wanted them to be successful in life. That's why we have so many guys that are, doing great on Wall Street, or doctors, or police. Wrestling teaches you to go after it.
He built character. He built the right values. He instilled in them the persistence, the hard work, the lessons of the wrestling room that are going to live with them for the rest of their lives. And he did it in a way with a soft touch, which is hard to say in wrestling, but he did it without screaming and yelling, and his ability to communicate that to literally thousands of young men is just a gift to the world, a gift to Chaminade, but a gift to the world.
We had a bunch of good wrestlers, but Coach made us great because he really gave us a sense that we can do this. Don't take second seat to anybody. And he made it fun. George has a great sense of humor. He never took himself too seriously. He made it light.
And he made it more of a team sport than an individual sport, which is unusual because in college, it's a very individual sport. We all made each other better in a number of ways. We made each other better wrestlers, better friends.
They're forging friendships, hundreds, thousands of kids that he coached that now I'm coaching, what they gain from this sport, the life skills, the honor, the integrity. The sport is very hard. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you hard work, dedication, determination, picking yourself up after a loss and getting right back on the mat. Dan Gable's quote, it's famous, Once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easier. Dugo has literally embedded that in every Chaminade wrestler.
There were only 2 teams at Chaminade that had no cuts, cross country and wrestling. So if you wanted to join a team and all you had to do was endure the practices, wrestling was one of your sports.
And he treated everyone the same. Whether you were the best wrestler or the worst, you got treated with respect. He gave you his time.
If a kid is willing to work, Dugo's willing to help them get the most out of whatever talent level they have. His view was, I owe it to the same, if not more, to the very last kid on the depth chart as I owe it to the very best kid in the room. And that is not something you see in coaching very often. And I just raise my glass to him as well. What a man, what a coach.
I think the most important thing that George taught me that I've taken with me as a coach is that I shouldn't just be concerned about developing soccer players. I shouldn't just be concerned about winning games. You know, I have the opportunity to help kids have a positive experience here at Chaminade. There's so much more to coaching, and there's so much more of an influence that we can have, and we should prioritize that. George is deserving of this award because he showed up and gave his best shot to Chaminade every day, year after year. He took young boys and turned them into Chaminade men.
While he was able to maintain excellence in the classroom, teaching phys ed and health and freshman soccer, and he had extraordinarily good fortune in varsity and JV wrestling, he did all of that while remaining a loving husband and keeping family first. That was in large degree due to Sue, the rock upon everything else is built.
I had 3 daughters and of course, a very supportive wife. My daughters, looking back now, seeing them in their careers, they see the dedication and the loyalty I had, and I see that in them. I see the dedication and loyalty they have to their positions, and I kind of attribute it to me, but they're their own people, and I'm very proud of what they've become and what they do.
Coach Dugo, congratulations for your well-deserved recognition.
It has been a pleasure and an honor to work with you all these years, to have you as a coach, to have you as a mentor, and most importantly, to have you as a friend.
There are things that I do in my life now that I wouldn't have done as well if I didn't have your guidance, counsel, direction, sense of humor.
You were always there for me. I'll always be grateful for that. And I hope you enjoy this evening. You deserve it.
Thank you, Coach Dugo, for everything. Everything you did for me, for my family, for our team. He still comes by practice. He teaches the kids. He comes around to matches. He always supports Chaminade Wrestling. It's in his blood. It's in our blood because of him.
Just congratulations, Dugo. You've earned it. You deserve it. And we're so, so happy for you.
George Dugo is now famous for his name. And worthily inducted in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Helped so many kids to learn that quitters never win. Mentored every wrestler and they loved him like a friend. Coach Dugo, the master of success. Coach Dugo was blessed. His champions were honored and the many oppressed. He lifted Chaminade above the rest. Coach Dugo was the best. He lifted Chaminade above the rest. Coach Dugo was the best. Coach Dugo was the best.
What can I say? I am truly blessed to work at Chaminade, to work with you fine young men, and the young men that have come back to Chaminade to work. You have a great faculty, a great staff, and a great administration. Sooner or later, you'll realize that, as I have realized it in my life. Thank you very much.
George Dugo, wrestling coach supreme at Chaminade High School, held in high